cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us. Because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing. You are nothing. You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred. You are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create. We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
All right, folks, we're here, as we've been saying all day, we're here at the TPUSA, the compound. The campus is right behind me. We're going to be inside for the rest of the show in just a second here. I just want to show you the crowds gathered in memory of Charlie Kirk. All right, let's bring in Lindy Li. She's a former Democrat, current, I would say, conservative. I say she's welcome on our side. We've had our moments where we tussled over issues, but Lindy is proving to be, she's found the right side, let's call it this way. If I could bring in Lindy. Lindy, love to have you weigh in on not only Charlie's memorial, but I really want to get into some of the things that are going on since Charlie's assassination. The left, I'm talking about AOC, I'm talking about Ilhan Omar, I'm talking about J.B. Pritzker, governor of Illinois, who wants to be president, continuing the heightened rhetoric of Trump is Hitler, all of us who are America first are Nazis. We're tired of it, but they're doing this even in the wake of, literal wake of Charlie Kirk. And then we'll get to Wajahat Ali, who I think is an absolute lunatic as well as Destiny. So let's bring in Lindy. Lindy, how about some of your former cohorts just not respecting the death of Charlie Kirk?
Eric, it's such an honor to be with you. And let me be very clear. They have never been my former cohorts. Even when I was on the Democratic side, I went to war with these leftists. They are not good people. End of story. This is not in dispute. And you have people like Jasmine Crockett still out there, even days after Charlie's murder, likening him to Hitler, saying that he's far right, calling him a Nazi. This is despicable language. And how they weren't able, they actually oppose a resolution honoring Charlie on the House of the United States Congress. That is horrendous stuff, especially since Republicans all stepped up and did the same thing for Melissa Hortman, who Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered in Minnesota, and Republicans showed her the respect that she deserved. However, the Democrats weren't able to return the favor because they were so blinded by their hatred.
You know, Lindy, I spent some time this morning on Piers Morgan's very popular podcast, and Piers opened the show up with a soundbite of Erica Kirk saying, very heartfelt, emotional. I was right in the front there on the main floor, and you could see her tears. You could feel her pain, so to speak, just a few yards away from her. And she said, it was hard, but she says, I forgive him, meaning the assassin. You know, and then Piers turned around and said a couple minutes later, Trump said, I don't forgive them. We're going to go after them. And Piers was having a hard time juxtaposing those two. And I said, Piers, to be honest with you, I'm pissed. I'm still mad. I'm not ready to say, turn the other cheek. Maybe Erica's a better Christian than I am. That's possibly what it is. But what is your take, since you've seen both sides? What's the right move here? Are you in favor of unity now, or are you in favor of letting Charlie's memory continue to take us through the midterm elections and get some good conservatives into Congress, make sure we don't lose the House or the Senate?
Well, I don't think there can be any reconciliation with people who celebrate Charlie's murder. There's just no common ground with people like that. So I don't. Erica is truly a saint. I was blown away by her speech. She's an incredible woman. The strength that it took to get up there and do that is unspeakable. But I don't actually see their positions. I don't see President Trump's position, Erica's, as too diametrically opposed, because Erica embodied the Christian principle of compassion, whereas President Trump embodied embody the Christian principle of justice. I think actually they are two sides of the same coin. I think they are, the two can coexist. And one thing that's notable is that in the interview that Erica did with the New York Times, she didn't say that she would oppose the death penalty for her husband's murder. She said she would let the government do its job. So I think this guy, he deserves a death penalty. He should have the law, the full extent of the law against him. I frankly believe that he deserves to die. What he did was so incredibly heinous, and frankly,
you're
it backfired.
hitting on something.
He thought he was going to snuff out the conservative movement. Now it's stronger than ever. It completely boomeranged on him, and riddance.
You're hitting on something very important. Erica Kirk can be right that she can forgive Charlie, and Trump can be right that he's going to throw the book at this guy, whether it's Utah or the feds, throw the book at him and get him to the death penalty, get him to the firing squad, which they have in Utah. I like that. So she can be Christian about it and he can be legal about it. Let's do it that way. I think that's a fair assessment. I'm shocked at the number of this guy Wajahat Ali, it's an influencer on the left, absolute lunatic, progressive. I think he's got no soul. He was hate Xing, posting on X during Charlie's services, his memorial service last night. And I was on with him. I said, couldn't you wait a day? Are you so low? Do you just crawl along the earth on your stomach as a worm, as a snake, that you couldn't wait till Charlie was memorialized before you start hating on him again? It's amazing how some of these people, they'll do anything to get booked, Lindy.
Absolutely. And it's also, he just wants the clicks. He wants the likes and the favorites and the retweets. And Charlie's life is worth nothing to him. So I'm frankly not really interested in finding common ground with people like that. I'm just not. I don't think they have human decency. So, reconciliation is not possible. I'm completely blown away by the amount of love and unity that the conservative movement, that Charlie's fans and family and team are exuding. And I have to make sure that we draw people's attention to the reaction to George Floyd's killing. My street in Philadelphia was burned down. That's actually one of the reasons why I moved. They burned down my street. They vandalized the Apple store and the Lululemon store, the Nike store. They caused $2 billion of damage around the country. None of that happened this time. The two sides are not the same. We are not the same.
Do you think there is a path to unity? And what would that timeline look like for you, Lindy?
Oh, man, I want them to stop, first of all, bashing Charlie Kirk on the floor of the House of Representatives. I don't know why that's a bar that's too high to reach these days, but apparently it is. We have people like Rashida Tlaib still attacking him as a Nazi at a congressional hearing. How is that okay? That language needs to stop. They just need to take a beat and stop maligning someone that is loved by millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people around the world. He's become an international icon, and he was murdered for doing something that is so intrinsically American, and that is debating.
It's amazing how you're nailing it, that the reason why Charlie Kirk, Trump said that there's an important line that Trump said yesterday. I'm not sure it got picked up. The bullet that killed Charlie Kirk was aimed at all of us. That was probably his most powerful moment. I'll give you one final thought on this, Lindy, and then you tell us about the show you're involved with PDB Podcast. It's great. So go ahead. Tell us, Trump's saying, I believed him. When he said that, I was like, yeah, that was for all of us. And the reason why it was Charlie who got the bullet is because he had all of our attention.
Yeah, I thought that was an incredibly powerful statement. And I don't think I want to say the people in that stadium yesterday, yes, they were there for Charlie. But the reason that Charlie was able to bring together so many people around the country was because of President Trump. He was able to strike a chord in the hearts of millions of Americans. And I'm ashamed that I didn't see it earlier. I take full responsibility for that. I believe the mainstream narrative, that orange man bad, there was a Russia hoax. I believed Adam Schiff, who should be held accountable for lying to the American people. But now I see it. I get it. I do. Down to my core, I get it. And I'm just floored. I've been a Christian all my life. And I've never been stronger and firmer in my faith. People call, yesterday, what we saw was unapologetic Christianity. We need more of that. We shouldn't be ashamed of our faith anymore. And I'm not going to be.
Yeah, it's a shame. Honestly, it's a shame. It's a shame that it had to be after the death of such an influential, great patriotic American. Very quickly, tell us about the podcast, and then we got to jump here.
Well, we would love to have you. We actually tried to have you a few months ago, but I think you were busy. But it's a group of women who share their unabashed takes. You know, we are liberated and we welcome all vigorous debate. You know, in the spirit of Charlie Kirk and in the spirit of Voltaire, the French philosopher. You know, we may not agree, but I would fight to the death for you to say your opposing view.
Right. Well, name of the podcast is Her Take, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. That's
Lindy
the name
Li,
of the podcast.
love having you on. Love having you on our side. What took you so long, my dear? Lindy Li, everyone, thank you so much. 2.5 minutes. We'll be right back.